The growth of online content and digital capability over the past decade has already transformed the way journalists go about their jobs. Yet nothing has forced such jarring, sudden change to newsroom practice as the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. In an industry populated by resourceful characters, it's no surprise that journalists have adapted to this rapidly evolving situation with impressive invention. A good hack will always look for ways to circumnavigate anything that stands between them and the story. And over this past year, they have discovered new tools to get the job done. The traditional notepad or tape recorder now replaced by Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and other internet-based live communication platforms. In a world disconnected by lockdown, restriction of travel, and social distancing, these online tools have been valuable vehicles to keep our social discourse flowing. Not to mention easing stretched newspaper budgets, as Crowell et al. 2019 recognised the significant savings and time efficiency of using remote video interviews instead of costly travel to meet in person. Edge et al. 2013 quote one study which used Skype to conduct selection interviews for medical student residencies in the place of in-person interviews. It estimated an average financial saving of $566 per interview and a total of 7 interviewer days saved during the project. However, such cost benefits still come at a price. The technological challenges of trying to connect on a human level via a grainy image, further complicated by an audio delay or fluctuating Wi-Fi signal, poses an enormous challenge for the interview technique of today's journalist. Leach 2002 declares that without rapport, even the best phrased questions can fall flat and elicit brief, uninformative answers. This bears out in my own experience of 25 years in journalism, drawing on key interpersonal skills such as body language and eye contact to establish a chemistry that puts the interviewee at ease, thus encouraging more open dialogue. Exploring the impact of non-verbal behaviour during job interviews, Frauendorfer et al. 2015 recognises that such dyadic social interaction in which the applicant and recruiter meet for the first time, the non-verbal cues such as smiling, nodding, eye contact, body posture, i.e. visual cues, play an important role, as do voice, pitch, speaking rate, and speaking time, as both applicant and recruiter try to form a first impression of their interaction partner. These factors are equally important in media interviews, and much harder to utilise, it has to be said, when shouting into a muffled speaker as your gaze flits between an off-centre camera and a grainy computer screen while the family pet barks in the background. Again, Crowell et al. 2019 make a valid contribution, pointing to the consistent criticism of technical issues during video interviews, such as time lags, disconnected calls, and the need for participants to have the right software in the latest version. Citing a case study that testifies to these issues, my own work, McLean 2020, offers the example of a press conference with Keith Pelley, Chief Executive of Golf's European Tour, which was conducted remotely in November 2020. Announcing a closer working relationship with long-term rivals America's PGA Tour, this raised many controversial questions of whether this partnership could be better described as a merger or a takeover. Ordinarily, this would be an awkward afternoon for Pelley, facing a room full of inquisitive, cynical hacks armed with challenging questions. Though rivals in theory, in a press conference setting, savvy journalists do hunt in packs, tag teaming and feeding off each other's questions to steadily build the momentum until they've pinned down their prey. Such teamwork is harder to do on Zoom, when asking the simplest question involves a laborious process of raising a virtual hand and waiting until the press officer moderating the call unmutes your microphone. In this controlled staccato environment, the chance of turning up on with a sustained barrage of questions is slim. So how can the journalist get around this? Well, preparation is crucial. Knowing what you're going to ask and making it count with this concise delivery is essential, because you might only get one chance to speak. Liaising with your fellow journalists in advance can create that pack hunting mentality nevertheless, by agreeing what subjects you're going to prioritise, collectively covering all bases. Preparing your environment beforehand is important too, ensuring that your face is suitably lit to make you visible and every effort made to prevent distractions such as background noise, children or pets interrupting. Maintaining eye contact means remembering to focus your gaze on the camera, not on the face looking back at you at screen. With good preparation and positive attitude, journalists can still make the best of the situation to obtain quality content from this new norm of interviewing in the COVID area. Thank you very much.